Hi, welcome to Future Technos. Think about how Apple works. It never just launches a product for the sake of it. There's always a bigger plan behind the scenes. The iPhone wasn't just a phone, it was a way to connect you to the App Store, iCloud, and Apple Music. The Apple Watch wasn't just about telling time, it was a way to track your health, connect to Fitness Plus, and tie into the rest of your Apple life. The same goes for Apple TV. On the surface, it's a streaming device, but underneath, it's the foundation for Apple's next big move into the home. And this is where things get interesting. Dolby Vision 2 isn't just about movies looking better. It's about setting a new standard that everything else will have to follow. Apple knows this. That's why the timing feels so precise. Dolby unveils the future of video, and Apple steps in with hardware ready to deliver it. The combination makes Apple look like the gatekeeper of next-generation entertainment. If you're the first to give people access to something new and groundbreaking, you instantly become the brand associated with that leap. Apple wants that. Now let's talk about why this matters more than you might think. Streaming has become the way we consume almost everything. From movies to TV shows, from live events to gaming, it all comes through the screen in your living room. Companies are fighting for your attention and your subscription dollars. Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, all of them are competing. But when the experience feels better on one platform because the device delivering it is superior, that's where people stay. Apple TV with Dolby Vision 2 could make Apple TV Plus feel like a premium club. Not just another streaming service, but the one with the best quality, the best integration, and the best overall experience. Apple has been quietly expanding its reach into sports. With Major League Soccer already streaming exclusively through Apple and rumors about more major sports deals, the stage is set for live events to look better than ever. Dolby Vision 2 isn't only for movies, it's for live broadcasts too. Imagine watching the World Cup or the Super Bowl with visuals so sharp and colors so real that it feels like you're right there in the stadium. That's the kind of emotional pull Apple is aiming for. When your living room experience feels more alive than ever, you're hooked, and Apple wins your loyalty. But let's not forget the role of hardware power. Rumors suggest the new Apple TV 4K could run on an A16 or A17 chip. That's the same kind of power Apple uses in its iPhones. For a small box in your living room, that's massive processing capability. It means faster navigation, smoother graphics, and the ability to handle demanding features like advanced upscaling or even gaming. Apple Arcade is a big part of this story too. Apple isn't giving up on games. In fact, a more powerful Apple TV could make your living room a mini console, ready to play high-quality titles instantly. Pair that with a gaming controller, and suddenly, Apple Arcade feels like it has more purpose. Connectivity is another key upgrade. Wi-Fi 7 support has been mentioned in leaks. If that's true, it means faster, more reliable streaming even in crowded networks. No more buffering during big matches or delays during live events. Streaming in 4K HDR with Dolby Vision 2 will need rock-solid connections, and Apple wants to make sure the experience feels flawless. That's how you know they're thinking long-term, not just about what's possible now, but what will be standard in the years ahead. The remote is another area Apple has been criticized for in the past. Small, sleek, but sometimes too minimalistic to use comfortably. Rumors suggest a redesigned remote that's easier to hold, easier to navigate, and less likely to disappear into your couch. It may not sound like a big deal, but when you use something every single day, the little details matter. Apple has likely learned from years of user feedback and is ready to give us something better. When you put all of this together, the Dolby Vision 2 leap, the hardware power, the improved connectivity, the better remote, and the seamless tie-in with Apple services, you begin to see the bigger vision. This isn't just a product refresh. This is Apple positioning itself as the leader in home entertainment. It's not about selling one box. It's about pulling you deeper into the Apple ecosystem. The more you use Apple TV, the more you use Apple Music, Apple Arcade, Fitness Plus, iCloud, and Apple TV Plus. Each service connects to the next, and suddenly you're living in Apple's world without even realizing it.